I've realized that I've been putting down breadcrumbs thinking that you guys are picking it up, but I want to be really, really clear about what's happening in the world, how it's different than any other time ever before, and how you can take advantage of it. Real quick, everything in this episode is opinion. You need to do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. I am not your financial advisor. There is always risk involved in the market. People lose money every day. This is for entertainment purposes only. It's all opinion. Opinion. Enjoy. So today is February 9th, 2026. The big news is China did a memo. Their top government did a memo to all the government institutions and said, reduce your exposure to U.S. Treasuries. I love being able to see what's really happening versus the public message and all the things. Like, we're going to talk about what to do about it. But before we talk about what to do about it, I need to lay the breadcrumbs down and make sure you eat the breadcrumbs because I tend to do this. I will say something and assume someone understands it. And so we're going to make sure you understand it. So first and foremost, let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein. It all starts with Jeffrey Epstein. I've told you guys before that I went all the way down the rabbit hole. I cried. I could cry right now, but I'm not going to. But at some point you have to remove your emotions from everything and really understand what's going on. First of all, I think people are not enraged enough. Or I don't know if I convinced you. Before we hopped on this, you thought that Jeffrey Epstein was a distraction from what's going on.
The question I asked you was why now?
My answer was, so you said, did I think Jeffrey Epstein was a distraction? And I said, he is the distraction and the distracted. Which means it's all the same everything. You got to put the piece, you cannot tell the story without him and whatever else he had going on. I don't want to make it seem like the world revolves around him, because it don't. You cannot look at stories like China is pulling back on U.S. Treasuries in that vacuum without considering him. It's a distraction and a distracted.
So this was a puzzle, all right? And we're putting a puzzle together, and we got a few missing pieces. And China curbs the U.S. and tells to stop buying treasuries is one piece, and then Jeffrey Epstein is another piece. How are these two pieces coming together to create this puzzle?
So, okay, don't think of a normal puzzle. Think of it more like a cryptogram. And Jeffrey Epstein is the key to the cryptogram. Do you know what cryptogram is?
No.
Oh man, I love cryptograms. Cryptograms is typically it's a message, a saying, but the letters represent another letter.
Okay.
Okay. So when you're solving the cryptogram, that's one of my favorite things to do. I've got some cryptogram books at home, but like at one point, that was my favorite pastime, to sit and do cryptograms. The thing about cryptograms, sometimes you can cheat. They'll give you a key. They'll give you 4 letters. That's the key, right? Like, hey, you're looking at this and this looks like mumbo jumbo to you. We're going to give you four letters, okay? Or there are certain words that have patterns that no other word has. Like a popular word is people. Right? There's a P-E, and then at the end is P-L-E, right? So like when you start to see it and you're like, oh, P, once you figure that out, you can put the other letters in and you know, bing, boom, bop, right? Okay, so let's pretend like we don't have a people in this cryptogram. We don't know what we're talking about. He is the key, okay? So if you look in the files, so we spent an hour where I was just putting Brandon onto the files. I told you I went deep down it. And I just assumed that everybody went down this rabbit hole, but they did not go down the rabbit hole like me. And the biggest thing, I said this on the last episode, but I cannot stress this enough. The biggest thing is you have to understand that agendas in the financial markets are real. The other biggest thing that you have to understand is there is no invisible hand, free market. Capitalism does not exist on a medium-sized scale. What do I mean by that? I think capitalism is very good on a small scale, small business to medium-sized business, but after a certain number, it breaks.
Capitalism is what?
Capitalism is this idea that you just let markets do their thing, and everyone's going to have their own best interest at heart. And they will do what's best for themselves, and thus the market will prevail for what's best for the market.
So basically, essentially saying capitalism is the market dictating itself, and then move
It
on.
dictates itself by the fact that everyone wants to make the most amount of money. And so therefore, as a result, the market will do what's best for the economy.
Right.
It'll work out best for everybody.
And you're saying that doesn't exist right now.
It doesn't exist right now at all. It can work. I think it works on a very micro to medium sized scale. And by micro, I mean like, hey, in the neighborhood, you got two grocery stores. Who got the best service and the best pricing wins.
Right. And the economy will, everybody in the
Everybody, it'll all work out. At the end of the day, you get the best price and everybody gonna be performing similarly the same, okay? But after a certain point, because there is some unexpected volatility that just happens with capitalism, somebody's gonna try to cheat the system. And this is as we get bigger. Because once you get this idea of too big to fail, once you get so big, you can't risk yourself to the volatility. So people start doing really, really shady things to control the market. Some shady and some unshady. For example, controlling the money supply. Why do we need to control the money supply if it's a free market? Shouldn't things just work out on its own? No, the government says, no, we need to put backstops to make sure you jokers don't mess this up.
Right.
Okay? So, in walks Jeffrey Epstein. Things get too big to fail. People get greedy. Oh, there is this guy that can get things done because he understands how things work. Now, he doesn't understand how things work. He got pictures of everybody. He can get people for a right price. He can get whoever to do whatever they want, what he wants them to do. Okay? So a lot of those, the story that you see from the emails, the story that I see is the deals that get done because he has pictures of everybody doing everything. Blackmail. And in order to get those pictures, he had to partake. How could you sleep at night? By partaking in some of these awful things. You just got to go ahead and serve Satan. Just give it up. You cross over too far. Just give it up.
Yeah, it said something about human souls in there.
You said something about him and what?
Human souls in there.
Human souls, selling of humans and human souls. That's the phrase
I was suspicious of it until I just went to the actual DOJ website.
Yes.
And searched the word.
I refuse to go to the
human
website.
Souls,
and it came up.
and it came right
How
up.
many emails came up? Just that one?
Just that one.
Yeah.
9 pages on there.
9 pages?
On that thread with that email thread.
Okay. Then you do also things like sacrifice. And you do things like, I don't want to talk about it. You're going to make me cry. I don't want to talk about it. So, at the end of the day, you working your tail off because you believe in supply and demand. I'm going to give the best customer service. Meanwhile, it's a whole agenda against what it is that you're trying to do. Okay? Deals being done all the way at the top by him and whoever just because it went to the highest bidder. All right? And here's the thing. This is not just him. This is a whole system.
Yeah.
All right? Here's the other thing. This ain't new. This ain't new. This been going on for a long time. All right, so now we got our feelings out of that. Now that we know that there are hidden things, then we need to shift how we look at finance, how we look at investing. All right? So if you are an investor investing on a micro scale, like a real estate investor, buying single families, all of that, right? Again, supply and demand does work to a degree, but even there's agendas on the micro scale as well. So you got to know, I cannot stress, if you're going to be a single family investor, you have to know in the markets that you are in, you have to know what's going on in those micro economies, but you have to know who the politicians are and what their agendas are. I've been saying this for years because you have to align yourself with their agendas because the government, even on a small scale, they can put you out of business.
Right.
Case in point. In Philly, when we first started the Better Than Success Real Estate League, going all the way back to 2016, 2017, people was coming in talking about Airbnb. Mm-hmm. And I was like, y'all, don't do it. Mm-hmm. Y'all do what y'all want. I ain't giving you no advice, but be very, very mindful, because Philly, which is where we were mainly, primarily, Philly, the industries, every city has an industry that it wants to be known for. The industries is eds, meds, and beds. Mm-hmm. Education, medicine. University of Pennsylvania is one of the best hospitals in the world. Jefferson's one of the best hospitals in the world, so on and so forth. And beds, hotels. Hotel industry is big. These three industries are a big component of the economy in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to start an Airbnb, and we're all going to do Airbnbs, guess who you're going against? Hotels. So, hey, if you guys will do it, you got a small window. It's going to be, you're not going to be able to do it no more. Don't make your buying decision based on being able to Airbnb. Make it based on, eventually you're going to have to put a tenant in there. Lo and behold, guess what happened? Hotels, you can't go up against them because one, the hotel, like, don't think you're just going up against the hotels, you're going up against the city, because those hotel workers employ people that the city makes tax dollars on, the wage tax. Mm-hmm. And, you know, real estate taxes, hopefully the people live within the city. So like, hey, you're messing up our money. Mm-hmm. Right. You're messing up our money.
On our turf.
Right. Both the city and hotels. You think you can go up against them? So you always have to look at what is the agenda of the government. You have to look at what the agenda, before developing your investing strategy, what is the agenda of the government? There's documents. And this is why I keep saying to y'all about Donald Trump. I always bring him up, right? No, we don't like talking about him. DT, just don't like talking about him. I don't like talking about any single human being as much as talk about this dude. Okay, DT. Somebody commented on, they sent me a message, a DM on my Instagram, and said, I love your content, but can we not attribute, like basically, I can't remember how they said it, but like, can we not just talk about Donald Trump? Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's not, I hear you. Mm-hmm. I get sick of talking about him too. I get sick of talking about myself. Mm-hmm. I hear you, but that's not this regime that we're in.
Yeah.
This regime, Donald Trump wants, he wants credit. Donald Trump wants credit for everything, the good, bad, and the ugly.
It's a large portion of that.
So anything that's important, ooh, me, let me say it.
That was random, yeah.
Let me say it. He got his hand up. Me, no. Oh, what? Y'all going to change grandma's diapers? I want to get you. I want you to. Oh, what? You changing your sanitary napkins style brand? You going from always to the. I want to tell everybody. Let me be the one. So this is just who he is. It's okay, Donald Trump. We know who you are. So I'm just not even. Hold on. Let me finish. So Donald Trump is telling y'all his agenda. He will not let off of. You asked me this question. You said, what is my biggest concern? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to let you ask your question in a minute. What is my biggest concern? Mm-hmm. In the American economy, right? As a citizen, not as a Nicole Purvey economist.
Yeah. Right.
As a citizen, as a human being. Mm-hmm. My two biggest concerns is y'all are not enraged enough about Jeffrey Epstein. Mm-hmm. You're not enraged enough for me. My second concern is housing affordability. This is the biggest problem we have. Because guess what? If we don't get enough data centers and energy for AI, we're going to be all right. If the U.S., China just reducing their holdings. Mm-hmm. They only hold, I just saw some places are reporting that they have about $500 billion in U.S. debt.
Who, China?
Yes. But I just saw somewhere else that said it's actually as low as $300 billion. Okay? Mm-hmm. They're number 3 behind Japan and the UK.
Right.
Japan got 1 point something, 1.3 trillion.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So 300 billion, we're not going to die if y'all offload. You're not going to offload all of it. But we're not going to die. But housing is an issue. But go ahead, what you going to say? Because I want to talk about how you can make this China thing meaningful to you, what it means to you.
Essentially, you had asked earlier or posed a question of like, what's the agenda, or like, what's the agenda? Your politicians, and what's their agenda? And from the way that you explained it, it made me think like, essentially, like, yes, the U.S. or yes, your economy wants you to create businesses. But it don't want your businesses to get bigger than the government.
It don't want your businesses to get bigger than the government. You know why? Because we're moving into, like, what's happening is similar to what happened in Russia with the oligarchy. Mm-hmm. Like, for real, the U.S. is a corporation.
Hold on, before you go to the...
Yes.
And essentially, as I think about this, I think that's why Trump and Elon split ways, because Elon is on some different level, and Trump is like, yo, you can do that, but you can't get bigger than this. And if you get bigger than this, we got a problem. Like,
I think to a degree, yes.
And I think that's how the government operates to a certain degree, because it's like, all right, and you can kind of see it on the tax scale. Like,
I'm gonna pause you. You have to understand this about Donald Trump. I said this in the newsletter. You saw it. Donald Trump will always do what serves him first and then find an altruistic reason. The reason that him and Elon don't get along is not because Elon wants to own these corporations that's bigger than the government. That could be an afterthought. The reason is because he doesn't like Elon. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like him. Like, you got to think, Donald Trump is genius he has a very high emotional IQ. Mm-hmm. Very high. I know some of y'all think that he don't, but the mere fact that you don't like him is exactly what he wants mm-hmm. from the people that support him, because it furthers our common bond. Black people don't like me, they don't like you either. Come on, let's be rich together. Let's get richer together. Mm-hmm. The enemy, black people, okay? Or whoever, right? Mm-hmm. You liberals, mm-hmm. all right? Elon Musk is literally the exact opposite. Very high intelligence, very low emotional intelligence. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's probably unbearable. Dude was trying to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein so bad. And apparently, I watched this video with this psychoanalyst analyzing him, that Jeffrey Epstein was awkward. So he went through a lot of the emails and analyzed, he's a psychoanalyst, and he analyzed his personality profile. And he has social issues. Mm. And Elon Musk was trying to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein, and Jeffrey Epstein said no.
Wow.
Dude is probably unbearable. I can look at him and tell he's unbearable. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. Like, sometimes when they say you're too smart for like just regular life, I think his brain works in a whole different fashion.
I don't think he's that smart. I don't think he's that smart. I think he can juggle a lot of things. I think that I don't think he's like smarter than, I think he's just got a whole lot of confidence. I think he's smart, but not like off the chart smart. He's never spoke, and I was like, oh. I don't ever get, when I hear him speak, mm-hmm. I don't ever get.
I heard him talk the other day about like the ins and outs of computing energy and semiconductors, and him explaining that.
Okay.
From him explaining how that process works, like, I feel like in his brain, like you said, the emotional side, the empathic side of just being, I don't even think that's there. Like, from hearing him speak in public, like, I feel like his brain works literally like a semiconductor. Like, where one thought goes through this channel and this computer like that. Like, I think it's just very rapid fire semiconductor, and like at some point, some of the things that he says are unrealistic for actual. Like, he reminds me of AI.
He reminds me of a child. My son be saying to me like you're just saying like, okay, yeah, he can think outside the box. My son be coming up with crazy stuff. Mom, I know why such and such and such and such. Why? Because if you go upside down and like you're just saying things. You and I don't mean it in a bad way, but like when you can break free of what you assume reality is, like a child is what Jesus says, be ye as little children. You always come up with some imaginative stuff. I love it. That's cute. But doesn't make you smart.
But the thing is, he has the resources to take those crazy ideas
and try them.
And
okay,
implement them.
That'll make him a genius. He's just a very fortunate person, right? Like he's a kid with a playground with a huge check. I love that for him. I'm just telling you. We don't got to debate how smart he is.
That it does make sense, though.
Right. My son be saying some crazy dope. I'll be like, oh, babe, that's a good idea. But it's
crazy ideas.
Right. He also has confidence, like a lot of confidence. We kind of got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's come back to the conversation about China, right? Mm-hmm. China says, hey, pull back on buying U.S. Treasuries. Mm-hmm. Their reason is because the market is volatile, right? What does volatility mean? That means it's all over the place. It's unpredictable. Mm-hmm. Typically, as economists, financial analysts, what we do, the only thing we can do is look at history to try to predict the future.
Right.
And things are not making sense, right? For instance, gold and silver prices, this is not the reason why U.S. markets are volatile, but I'm giving you an example. Right. Gold and silver prices, they bottomed out, right? Like there was a sell-off, right? There was a dip in the market, lost like 12% in like a day or something like that. Yeah. But at the same time, the demand is high. That doesn't make sense, right? We can't predict anything because we're looking at these economic indicators and none of it makes sense. Okay, so it's volatile. Our market is volatile. I don't think that people understand. Like, you don't understand how unique what's happening in the market is right now than any other time in history. It's never been this volatile. Never. Volatility, when things are all over the place, it creates opportunity. Mm-hmm. This is why I keep saying there is a wealth transfer happening.
As far as I know, in the traditional trading markets, volatility creates liquidity. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, we can look at it. People are pulling their money out of riskier sectors like real estate and putting it in stuff like gold, cash, silver, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is typically liquid, right? Mm-hmm. Money market accounts. Money market accounts went up something crazy. I can't remember. I talked about it on this show maybe about a month ago, where money market accounts went up year over year, something like.
And liquid just means how fast can you turn something into cash?
Right.
How fast can you convert it?
Right. So volatility means liquidity. So if there's volatility in the market, they're pulling their money out of certain sectors and certain assets and putting it in cash, safe havens. That is what we're seeing. Why gold and silver and Bitcoin, governments are buying it. Okay? All right. For just a second. When I saw the news about China and them not buying treasuries, like the mandate, stop buying treasuries and pare down your positions, it was like breaking, da-da-da-da-da-da. And this is what I want you to understand about looking at the market and trying to peel back the agenda. Anytime something is breaking like that or China does something, they're not doing it just because somebody woke up and was like, I think we're too volatile today. Let's not do this anymore. I mean, I think we have too much U.S. Treasuries. Let's not do this anymore. Like, that's not how that went down, okay? What happened? What happened? All right. Now I'm about to go into some speculation. None of this advice. And by the way, none of the things that I'm saying on here is advice. You have to do your own research, okay? So we about to move into the Nicole. Brandon loves when I do this. We're about to move into Nicole conspiracy room, okay?
I like that.
You like that? Nicole's conspiracy room, all right? So take this for a super grain of salt, okay? I have some sources online that basically said that there was an internal report at Goldman Sachs that said that we have not seen the end of the sell-off and more assets is going to be sold off and prices are going to be dropping, okay? So this report just went out over the weekend. Allegedly. Allegedly. This report just went out over the weekend, okay? Let's say, for instance, Bloomberg saw the report, but Bloomberg knows that Goldman Sachs will sue the crap out of them, right? When you are at Bloomberg or when you're at Wall Street Journal, you become friends with Goldman Sachs, right? And so, like, in order to get access to cover them, also, like, they will sue the pants off of you. You gotta be nice to them. You can't print that report. But you still gotta let people know, or you still feel like you should let people know that volatility is a major risk amongst the big players.
Yeah.
Okay? Where can we... China, breaking news. Oh, we can report that because that's public. And like, China, they're on the other side of the world. They ain't not in charge of us. Okay? Probably, I'm sure China put out a press release about it. Yeah, there you go. Now, what's causing this volatility? So, one of the things I was thinking about, what determines the price of something? Okay? And it just all kind of started to come to me. I think a lot of people think that supply and demand, right? You think about stocks, crypto, supply and demand determines the price. But that's, in this economy, as I'm telling y'all that capitalism is not what it is, there are a number of things. Here are the 5 things. I literally just made this note as I was pulling in today. Here are the 5 things. Supply and demand, geopolitics, right? We already talked about that. Human psychology. You got to understand how these world leaders think. This is why I spend so much time talking about, like, we've had this conversation offline. Like, I think Trump wants to do this. I think Trump wants to. No, you got to understand human psychology and how he operates. Like, behind the scenes, I'm not going to go, something will happen and I'll explain it to my partners for our fund and they think I'm tripping. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, I told y'all he did this because of that. I told y'all. So you have to understand human psychology. Like, as much as possible, understand how these world leaders think, where they come from, because it's always going to influence their decision making. The next one is actual performance of the asset, right? Like, so like a stock, right? Like, okay, we want to see what the earnings are. Like, that does influence it to a degree. And last but not least, algorithmic trading. So these funds, they're using algorithms to determine their positions. The algorithm is based on whatever happens, okay? So like, let's say a stock goes below a certain price, sell it off. That creates a death spiral. So especially if it's a huge fund. Oh, we see this person dumping this. Okay, we're going to dump too. Oh, I'm going to dump too. Oh, the price is going down, price is going down, price is going down. Right? So once these commodities, gold, silver, Bitcoin, and even some of these stocks dip down, Goldman Sachs is allegedly, according to this report, right, that I have not laid eyes on, okay? I just heard reports about the report, okay? They're saying that there is so much market activity based, or a lot of the market activity is based on algorithmic trading, we're going to see more of a sell-off that's triggered by these algorithms that are triggered by the volatility, basically. Okay?
And the algorithms are basically off of.
We don't know how they're written, but like, it's looking at trends. As quick as your eye can look at trends in the candlesticks and the wicks,
But
they can look at it even quicker.
as far as my research on how these algorithms are written, they are based off the trends, but the trends are based off of human nature. As far as the study that I did, as far as in, let's say human nature is X, so X happens, or
It's
human
making
nature is X,
it's making probabilistic.
probabilistic.
Yeah,
based
but here's
on-
the thing about humans. Humans are not predictable. We have this thing called free will.
and that's why that algorithm.
That's why AI is a problem,
It's
influencing our lives, and we have the breath of God flowing through us.
And well, that's why it's so crazy right now too, because they're trying to put an algorithm into.
Goes back to my other theory that I'm not going to say right here. What I think AI is,
Yeah.
because it's trying to step in place of human decision making. Right? I was just reading the scripture. I was combing I've combed over and over again, but I don't think I realized I put it all together. Okay, Nicodemus came and visited Jesus. He says, hey, what's up with you? And he was like, listen, the only way you can get to heaven is if you are born again of water and spirit. Okay? Right after that, he says, and then Nicodemus says, how can this be? He was like, I tried to explain earthly things to you. Y'all ain't listen. Y'all ain't even take my witness on it. You think you're going to take my witness and I'm trying to explain heavenly things to you? Come on now, bro. Then he says, the only way you can see heaven is if you come down from heaven, as I have, the Son of Man has. Just as the wind blows, you don't know where it's going to or where it's coming from, but you know it's there.
Right.
And that scripture basically means you don't know what I'm going to do. But algorithms, AI and algorithm is based on when you're caught in samsara, is what the Buddhist calls it, and looking at your past to predict your future.
Right.
We, as children of fathers and heirs, we have the ability to break out of the matrix and do something different. So you can't always use algorithms to predict.
Right.
So when you ask me, what do I think is going to happen? Like, it's so out of hand right now. God is something crazy, but
it's gonna crash. That's what I'm thinking. The algorithm is crash.
the algorithm ain't gonna be able to predict whatever God is about to do. God about to do something. Because listen, let me tell you right now, I prayed to God, what are we going to do? Tell me my job, because this is out of control. This is way out of control. Did you see the Olympics and they had a whole portal in the opening ceremony? A portal to hell?
I didn't see that.
You didn't see it?
I didn't.
Look it up on your phone. Put Olympics opening ceremony pentagram. They do this every they did it at the last Olympics. They had some satanic ritual type of scene going on.
This 2026.
They just had the Winter Olympics. Do you see it?
Wow.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
God, what we doing today? What are we doing? God, what we doing today? Close it out. Mind is blown. Yes. I was at the Olympics. Your mind is blown.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Volatility. That's what we know. Goldman Sachs, allegedly, more than allegedly, okay. Goldman Sachs says it's so volatile, it's going to be a sell-off. Brace yourselves. China says, U.S. is too volatile. They're not stupid. They're not just making stuff up. We're also seeing all this conflicting information. The S&P is up. The housing market is down. Margins are slim. And affordability. How's the S&P up and people can't afford homes?
And you know what?
Those two things are usually together. When the S&P is doing well, stock market is doing well, people got money.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, what you want to say?
And Trump even said something like that the other day. He said, "Let's go back to when good news." He was like, "When the news is good, the stock market used to go up." And it was like now the news is good and the stock market is crashing and nothing is working the way it should. And that's because what you said with an algorithm, with algorithms, they don't work in unpredictable, unprecedented. Algorithms only work by predicting trends. If you don't have a trend, you don't have an algorithm that can predict what's going on.
Well, let me be very, very clear to you. Do you know what quantum computing is?
Not to the
Quantum computing is, so in regular computing, you have binary code thing, everything is a 1 and a 0.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum computing isn't, everything's not 1 and 0, it exists in superposition. Everything is either a 1, a 0, both and neither. It exists in superposition. And so I don't want to go too much down that road, but they're using quantum computing to control AI, which then runs every possible scenario at the same time.
Mm.
So they're trying their hardest. I don't mean to go all the way down that road. I'm not saying that quantitative trading is not good, and nor do I want to say, because you were going to say that the quantitative trading and the AIs is what's making everything up and down. I don't think that that's what it is. I just think we're at an inflection point in human history right now where
I don't necessarily think that's what's making it go up and down. What I'm saying is, I think that's what's aiding to the chaos that's going on because you're trying to implement a system in a world where a system doesn't work. If that makes sense on what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying.
Like Bitcoin is up, Bitcoin is down. The silver had consolidated for about 15 years. Like it stayed within under $32 per ounce, right? For 15, 20 years. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Maybe got as low as $20, but never went over $32 for at least the last 5 years that I've seen silver.
Mm-hmm.
Then out of nowhere.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying, I just think we're at an inflection point in human history right now, and things are going to change. And while this is all this, just to bring it here, because the question is what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long we're going to be here at this volatility where things, it makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it don't make sense. I think, again, we have 3 Americas, and you have to decide as you're looking at each data point, which one goes to which America. The first America is everyday Americans. The second one is the wealthy people. And the third one is governments and corporations, right? Policymakers, okay? 3 Americas. Each economic indicator that you look at will be assigned to one. You can't, it's not one America that economic indicator assigned to everything. It doesn't work that way anymore. You have to know what to look at. The S&P, if you're looking at what is going on with the regular Americas, the S&P 500 is not going to tell you. It's just not. First of all of it isn't AI. Everyday Americans aren't making money from AI.
Mm-hmm.
Everyday Americans still making money from labor.
Mm-hmm.
So S&P 500 don't got nothing to do with us no more.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look on the micro scale. Here is my prediction, not advice. Do your own research. My prediction, I'm going to keep stressing. While this all is chaotic and is super volatile, you're going to have everyday Americans, which is unfortunately going to be down here. So if you think about financial distribution, money distribution, it's a bell curve, okay? So like people over here that's super poor, up people in the middle, and then number of people that's rich is over here, okay? On paper, definition, the effects of a recession, a depression, or a emerging economy is the missing middle class. So then it becomes like a hump. Most products or services is priced for that middle.
Mm-hmm.
The middle is going away.
Mm-hmm.
The middle was the person who could afford to start a home.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw an article that said that the starter home markets are literally evaporating in markets.
Mm-hmm.
Starter home houses are evaporating in certain markets, in U.S. markets. Okay? So if it's a double hump, where are you going to find your best customers? The people who are down here and the people who are up here. So create products and services. And if you're going to do real estate, for workforce housing, for real estate, create products and services that are inferior products. So if you got something that's typically to that middle class, do like a little fast casual class version.
Yeah.
Or sell things to rich people, because guess who S&P 500 is affecting?
Yeah.
Rich people. Price of gold, all-time high. Rich people. Ain't affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not trickling down to you. I cannot stress, you have to look at the news as long as we are getting these. Housing market is terrible. S&P 500 is up. All over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's just this. That's just the double hump. The double humping.
Double hump.
The double hump going double hump.
Double hump.
The double humping. This is why we invest in apartment buildings. Cannot stress to y'all. So, right, we were talking about the barriers to entry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was asking you, as far as what you were saying, as the middle. I said if you take the middle, then you have a high end and you have a low end. And you were telling me on the low end, you had apartment buildings.
So you have apartment buildings, invest in apartment buildings. You might not be able to buy an apartment building, invest in a fund. Like seriously, y'all. Invest in a fund. If you really don't want to invest in a fund, invest in a REIT. The other thing, guess what's up too? This further proves my point. Guess what's up in real estate right now? Industrial buildings. But not just AI data centers. Find a REIT that invests in industrial buildings. Because people still need to work. They're going to need to work these machines.
And I did research.
Store the stuff. Go ahead, you did research.
And what's holding all of this together by the thin hairs that is being held together is private equity.
Private equity. Again, this is the beautiful thing about private equity. Remember I said you can predict markets better on a smaller scale, right? Private equity take advantage of the fact that we can read markets. Our fund is just 15 million. Our fund is 20 million. Our fund is, depending on what it invests in, but a lot of stuff invests in locally niche things. Like I just saw there's a bunch of private equity deals on industrial buildings. And the acquisition was like 500 million. That's small. That's small. You can go all the way down to $1 million, for sure. But that's like a very niche thing that can be predicted. Price demand. Okay, there are but so many industrial places where you can put facilities. We can know everything we need to know. Nothing's going to surprise us. In one city, there's a certain amount of industrial, but we know what jobs are in the city. Like you can hone in, you can know what's going on. But when you got all these variables on the macro scale, it's difficult, especially now that geopolitics has entered the chat. And tariff wars, war was used to be fought in person. Now, okay, what did Iran, they got their issues. Iran is begging, America, y'all said y'all was gonna help us. Please help us, please help us, please help us, please help us. They killing people left and right, please help us. Donald Trump said, he can't go to war with Iran, they got nuclear. They'll take us all out. Donald Trump said, okay, I'm going to come help y'all. This is what I'm going to do. Because remember I told y'all, New World Order, wars are going to be fought using financial blockades. What did he say? He said, anybody who does business with Iran, we put in a 25% tariff on y'all. Geopolitical things has entered the chat. You cannot predict it. It's too volatile. We don't know. Donald Trump, tariffs is war. It's too volatile. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Are we going to war? Let's buy some silver. Are we not going to war? Okay, we don't need no silver. Are we going to war? Let's buy some silver. Are we going to war? Oh, let's get some plutonium. No, never mind.
I'm glad we made it to this far because in your notes, when you were saying what, I think your note said what dictates cost. Was that it?
What dictates like the price of
What
anything?
dictates the price. And I was actually surprised that you left off security. Like how safe is something, because that also dictates
The price of something? That's supply demand. That still goes into supply demand, in my opinion.
what, the security of it.
Like how safe something is safety is only determined by the liquidity. That's supply and demand. Okay, go ahead, talk to
Think
me.
of a safe deposit box at a bank.
Ain't nothing safe then. You can blow the bank up. No
What
one
I'm saying is no volatility or liquidity in a safe deposit box. But
Yes, it is. The assets in that box fluctuate. The value of it fluctuates every moment. What you got in that box? Cash fluctuates. Rubies fluctuates. Emeralds fluctuate. Deeds to properties fluctuates. Nothing in there is not subject to volatility.
yeah, you're right.
God forbid it's in the country. If they change the rules over in
That's because it's locked into that asset. It's not moving. It's not transferring, because if it's in a safe deposit box and it's a deed.
But if it's in a safe deposit box in a country that's now no longer safe, if they change the rules in Switzerland and you got safe deposit box over there, forget it. You got safe deposit box in Iran? You got safe deposit box in Venezuela?
Okay.
You got safe deposit box in Greenland?
Well, in that case, like you're saying, I guess what is safe? Well, I don't know. You took me with that one.
What's safe?
What is safe?
The word of the Lord. The blood of Jesus.
And that's where you have volatility, because
Ain't no volatility in the blood of Jesus.
what is safe? Like, you got your supply and demand. You got, you said the productivity. Is that what you said? Or not not productivity, but the history of how well it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you use for that? What's the word?
Like just performance?
Performance.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, you have performance, supply, demand, and then
Quantitative trading.
no, you said government.
Government, yeah, government.
Yeah, government. But like because people transfer money for assets that are appreciating. That's the only reason that they like, or at least institutions. And
So your
governments.
answer is the question. Go back to the question. What is safe?
What is safe?
The scripture calls it the deceitfulness of riches.
It does. It does say that.
So, if you know this
This
why
not lay our treasures up, and that's what it says.
earthen vessels, store them in heaven, where robbers and moths and
Yeah.
thieves cannot reach them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's why I said before, this is a game. It's just a high stakes game. That matters. You just got to understand the game and not like, this is where they be getting so caught up. They put so much importance on all this stuff that just don't matter. Like we were just talking about, one of the things you said was they fighting over control of the resources of the land. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can't take that. God said all of this is mine. Mm-hmm. You can't take none of this with you, Donald Trump.
Right.
And if he be like, we supposed to be stewards of it. Mm-hmm. If I don't want you to be stewards of it, guess what? If we get wiped out, guess what's still going to be here? Them resources.
Mm. Yeah.
So all we got to do is understand, once we understand that, and we know what's going on with the volatility, none of it is permanent. So like a tale of two humps, two humps going two hump, mm-hmm. Double hump going double hump, that's what Humpty I said. Humpty hump, do the Humpty Hump dance. Mm-hmm. Just keep that in mind. right? Whatever you're doing, I'm not saying completely change your business model, but it needs to alter. Either you want to sell stuff to rich people, like if you look at like Myron Golden's content, it's just timely where he talks about like sell stuff that, and even Alex Hormozy, sell stuff to rich people.
What does selling stuff to rich people look like?
Luxury flips, private equity, start a fund. If you know something really, really well, learn how, join our community, learn how to start a fund. Listen,
Okay, that's on the high end.
rich people.
Selling to rich people.
Okay, now we're talking about on the low end. You talked about a couple stocks. I'm not no stock analyst, but you said Dollar General and Dollar Tree is jumping. Go analyze some businesses. So like go analyze stocks that sell inferior products. Start businesses that sell quantity. Right? Low ticket items. Stuff that everybody has access to, because guess what? They're going to be buying it. Offer a lower tier line or whatever it is that you do.
But you're saying stay away from that middle line.
I'm not trying to tell you that it's not going to exist, but what I'm saying is there's opportunity in double hump and a double hump.
That makes sense.
Figure out how to solve poor people's problems and figure out how to solve rich people's problems. That's really the answer. Figure out how to solve poor people's problems, figure out how to solve rich people's problems. In the profit door, when you're a member, I'm going to give some specific investing examples on our training on Wednesday. And I'm probably post some in the group chat too. So if you're interested in joining the profit door, go to the link below. It is very inexpensive. I hope to see you all on the inside. Also, if you're like, hey, I'm not sure, I have a free training for you called the 7 Hidden Wealth Keys. It is the bomb. Join because I want you to get all of the secrets about how to invest like the wealthiest folk. All the secrets and things that the regular people don't know. Sign up below. I'm gonna give it like one more minute, and then I got some stuff I want to share with y'all. In the meantime, how is everybody doing today? Talk to me.
I'm doing well. I was excited about this group coaching I think it'll give me just to hear what you're thinking about what I'm doing, or, just to get your little feedback, a couple of seconds of that, and just, feel like I'm headed in the right direction because I've been putting a lot of effort in on the information that we have in the Profit Door. So I was excited about today. So, and just to say that the information that we get, I mean, that mind of yours, I love it. I love it. And the way you share it too and the way I could relate to it, it's like I've grown. I mean, I think maybe like a year ago or 2 years ago, I don't know how much I would have been able to relate to some of the information, but just to know that I've grown and I'm in line with the information that I'm getting, both business, spiritually, and just, personally, it's a good thing for me. So I'm excited to learn more and hear more. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Okay.